Hey, this is Papa from StreetFighterTradingSystem.com. Alright, so we are at day 11, I think, from the bootcamp training, and basically we are going to review the chart of yesterday. So I started with You Lose Perfect because that day was pretty much very tricky, I think, for people to succeed using ABCDE pattern. Okay. I want to talk about, so I will talk about two things on this video. I will do a market review, but I want to start actually talking about a specific market structure that I think I've never taught during the course, which is what we call a Fib one-to-one extension. Some people call it measured move. So I think it's important to talk about this because again, it gives you a better understanding of the market structure. Okay, so first, let's talk about the definition of what is a measured move or what I call a Fib one-to-one extension. Okay, so when you have, so as we know, right, and as I tell you, the market is moving in waves. Okay, so wave one, wave two, wave n. Okay, so what will often happen is that when you have, okay, impulse move, when you have an impulse move, what you want to check is if you have an impulse move which is equal size than the next one, then most of the time the price will retrace. Okay, so how you can check if the length is equal, basically you can use something called the Fibonacci extension. So you can go on your drawing tool, not retracement, but Fib extension. Okay, so click on this Fib extension, you draw it from the low point of your impulse to the high of your impulse, and then to the retrace, right? And if you see that your impulse move is doing, okay, the same length, that means that the length of this move is the same as the length of this move. So that's why we call it a one-to-one extension, because it's 100%, right? Then most of the time you will have a retrace. Okay, so people that are doing most of the time swing trading, what they will do is that they will do a Fib one-to-one to understand what is their target, because most of the time when you have an impulse, the market will do an impulse with equal size. Okay, so it doesn't mean that the market is going to go down like this, right? But it means that you're probably going to have a retrace. So the retrace can be short, can be long, or whatsoever. Okay, so the way I usually use it is when I see a Fib one-to-one extension, I will try to search for a failed to legged move on the direction of on the opposite direction of the trend, so doing counter trend, or if I have inside the retrace. So what can happen is also inside the retrace, so it can do this, right? So you have your impulse, your retrace, okay, and on your retrace you can have like what I call, which is really a two-legged move. Okay, so it's an ABC, and if the ABC usually is doing like a measured move or a Fib one-to-one extension, right? So sorry, up, meaning that the size of this leg is equal than the size of this leg. So let me trace it again. So this is my retrace. Okay, so the size of this leg is equal to the size of this leg. Same, I will try to look for failed to legged pullback on the upside, or high or lower high, or even sometimes I will take it directly. Okay, so I will take directly over here, or I will take the lower high, or I will take the failed to legged pullback. Okay, so A, B, C, D, E. Okay, and here same thing if it does a one-to-one extension. So usually I will try to check. So of course this one-to-one extension needs to be long enough, right? If it's the first two impulse, then it's not good, right? But if you see that they are long impulse, then you can look for a lower high. Okay, so now that I gave you the theory, okay, so yeah, another thing maybe, so most of the people, so I would say the new generation, they talk about a Fib one-to-one extension. of course, the old people will talk about measured move. And if you look at Mac video, again, he will draw. So I find that very, very kitsch, but he will draw basically an arrow which represents this, and then he will drag the arrow, and then he will say up, it's a measured move. Okay, so honestly, when I see this, I always laugh. I think that he doesn't know that there is the fib one-to-one extension that exists, but it's the same thing. Okay, so let's take a look at when it happened during the trading day of yesterday, right? So it happened first over here on the retrace. So you can see that it did like a real two-legged move, okay? And the two-legged move was what we will call a measured move. So if you draw this to the high, okay, you can see that the price retraced to the tick, right? So over here, the price exactly touched the 100%, and then it did a two-legged pullback and shoot up, right? So usually when I see this, so as I said, there's three use cases. The very aggressive use case, which would be to take directly the long over here. But honestly, if it's with the trend, it's okay. Okay, if it's on the retrace, it's okay to try it out. But if it's counter trend, never do this. You always want to wait for either a higher low or a failed two-legged pullback. Okay, then it happened again over here. So you can see that this leg is equal to this one. So let's do it the Mac way. So we're gonna draw an arrow. It's gonna be the lower of this point until over here. Okay. Then if you drag this over here, you can see that this point is at a fib one-to-one extension. Okay. So what I usually do, I use the extension, so I have a shortcut on it. I will do to high, and then I place it over here, and you can see that the price touch over here, so up. So it was shy to the 100% from few ticks, but this will mean that of course you shouldn't try to take long anymore when it reach over here, right? Because you will be too extended. But of course I also show you that if you're on a fourth impulse or third impulse, it's not good to take trade on the direction of the trend, because you will be too extended. Okay, but this is another way to understand that you are already too extended, and that you should maybe take a look at reversal. So here it did a high, and then here it did like what some people will consider as a lower high, because it did a equal high over here, and then it did a failed two-legged pullback. I will not take this failed two-legged pullback because it's outside bar, but I think this is a good case of when the failed two-legged pullback works, when you basically have a one-to-one extension, you are extended on the move, and then you see this candle. Here, for sure, people were trapped because they think that this candle is good because it's a hammer, so they try to long over here, and boom, they got stopped out, and then the price moved down because the price shoot down because people place their stop over here, and then once it triggered, boom, it went down. Okay, so these are two use cases. So you can train yourself, look into your chart and try to find a one-to-one extension. Okay, so I don't know, up. So you can see over here, for example, this move is equal to this one, and we see that it reached the target and then retrace. Okay, so you will have it quite often. I don't use it personally every time, but when I'm able to spot stuff that are heavy, that are really how to say, obvious, like this leg, for me, when I was watching live, it was obvious that this leg was the same as this leg, and we were extended, so I knew that we shouldn't take long over here. Okay, so yeah, it's another move I think to master. If you don't use it on your trading, it's fine, but you should at least know it. Okay, just know what is a fib one-to-one, what people call measured move. Okay, so with that said, let's talk about the review itself, and what was the trade that I think are good. Okay, So I pointed out with a triangle the trade that I took live. So let's talk about those trades. Okay. So first trade is this one. So it's not a setup that I teach, but it's a setup with order flow. So basically, what we can see is that the price was on a range. Okay, and then it did a break, and then what I was looking at is this a failed breakout or not? Okay, so I can take and I can buy long. So the first clue that made me want to go and buy into this trade is because we have a spinning type of candle, and you know that I do like a spinning candle. I think that for some reason on the ES 2000 tick chart, the spinning candle has some good properties. So I will place a buy stop on the open, on the close of the candle, and see if the price moves up or not. So maybe the price would have moved already up, so I will place a limit order and wait for the price to come down. But the reason why I went into this trade is not because only of the spinning, right? So the reason is this. Let me show you. So as I put as a comment, I used the order flow. And on the order flow, I have a specific setup. So the setup is this. Basically, what I will look at is I will look at the delta. Okay, so the delta meaning the stuff that is on the down here. Okay, so what I will look at is for a delta to decrease 3 times. Okay, meaning if the delta is at minus 500, I will look that the next candle is minus 400, and I will look at the next candle is minus 200. So I have to have 3 candles that are decreasing. Okay, and then what I see over here, so it was the case of minus 587, minus 448, and minus 383. And then I see that there is a delta divergence. So delta divergence, I don't know if we call it delta divergence basically, but I can see that we have a green candle that closed and a delta that is negative. Okay, and I do see here that people try to push the price down, but they failed. Okay, so there was some absorption over here. So the context of having those 3 delta going down plus having an absorption plus having my candle plus the market situation was kind of a breakout, and we know that usually breakout fail and they will retest most of the time the low of the channel to go down, right? So all this made me take this trade. Okay, so this is the first trade that I've taken. It's not the ABCDE, but yeah, for people starting to look at order flow, I think it was a good trade to take. Okay, I don't force you to take order flow. This is an additional. First master the ABCDE, and then you can take a look at the order flow. Anyway, so this was the first trade. Second trade is that I took was TTT. So basically, I search for TTT basically when I see that the failed two-legged pullback is not a good move to take. Okay, so the reason why I will not take this failed two-legged pullback is because we are, or ABCDE is because we are super extended, right? It does AB, CD is higher than AB. So as you know, right, I don't like to take like when CD is higher than AB. And by the way, was it the third wave? Yes, it is. So so here we have the case where we have 1, fail 2, 3. Okay, and fail 2, 3. Donc we have A, B, C, D, E. So AB lower than CD, and of course this thing failed. So it's exactly the same property that I told you last time. But anyway, so what we can see is that the two-legged pullback failed, the failed two-legged pullback failed. So I will place a short over here and wait for the price. Okay, so it's good for 1 point scalp. I'm not asking you to take more than 1 point scalp. Okay, so first one that I took. Second TTT that I took was still with the trend. So we have a two-legged pullback move over here. Then the failed two-legged pullback failed over here. I'll place a buy stop over here, right? And see if the price goes up. I also took this SBK, which was kind of aggressive. So yeah, I think that I took it live. Okay, so you place your buy stop on the top of this candle, or if the price already shoot up, you place a limit order over here and you wait for the price to come down and then see what's happening. Of course, if the price has already shoot up, and this candle is finished, you are not going to place a limit order over here. It's too late. Okay, so you need to place it on the very next candle. Okay, and then a last trade. So yeah, there's this also this TTT over here, but I posted already on Facebook. This is, I think, a picture perfect TTT to take. Then I want to talk about so yeah, I put a zone of interest because I saw that we had this spinning. So I didn't quit live, but I don't know. I was so tempted to place a buy stop over here, but I didn't do it. I didn't have the guts to do it because there was no setup basically. But anyway, I want to talk about this Pikachu. Okay, so the Pikachu over here, which is a failed two-legged pullback and a two-legged pullback. Okay, so luckily for me, I was discussing with Dean, and I didn't saw the setup when it happened. I didn't took it, but I saw it when it finished, and I saw that it did first the high and then went lower. And if you place a buy stop over here, you would have been stopped out because we have only 2 points stop loss. Okay, but of course the normal rule for others was to place it here. But what I want to show you is, again, the main weakness of Pikachu is the STT, and of course the STT over here, it was opposing. So you can usually I draw it from the body. I know some people draw it from the wicks, but again, I do think that it's better to draw opposing STT from the body. So you try to connect as much as body as possible, and it was directly opposing to your entry point. Okay, so with that said, I think that's pretty much it. On the following videos, probably tomorrow, I will start talking about ATM strategy. Okay, because I think it's an important part of if you want to go live. You cannot have like 2.4 stop loss with 1 point scalp. Okay, the idea is that you need to have different rules to manage your trade when it reaches 1 point, because when you're live, most of the time you will not be filled, so you need to have a backup solution. And I will talk about this probably tomorrow on how I handle how I do risk to reward management and trade management. Okay, so this was Papa from StreetFighterTradingSystem.com. I hope you like this video. See you next time.